All right. What's going on? You're listening to King Cam and Ujumbe podcast, and Ujumbe means message. And today's message is we're going to talk about Black History Month, right? There's a lot to be said about it. Some people agree on things, some people disagree, right? Before I get into my two highlights, dealing with Black History Month is a mixed bag, okay? Um, Some people like to start 1865 on up, right, to the present. Others like to go all the way back to ancient Africa, if possible, and bring us up to speed. Me, I like to do a little bit of both because as a teacher, sometimes you got to take people from level one, day one, to that next level. Sometimes it takes a little time. But the issue with Black History Month, sometimes it boils down to Rosa Parks Month, Martin Luther King Month, and Frederick Douglass, that kind of thing. And so, but we have much more things to talk about, much more stories to tell, not just on a national level, like the notable people, but the local level. Some of you guys in your area have key people that you want to talk about, okay? We want to hear their stories. There's some people in my area that needs to have their stories told, right? So subscribe on YouTube on King Cam and Ujumbe podcast. Let me know. Hit the comments below on YouTube and let me know what you want us to talk about. We talked about Ethiopia. We talked about Kemet and so on, and everything in between. So, but if what you want to hear, let me know, okay? But check this out. Some notable people this week is Sister Phillis Wheatley and Richard Allen. All right. We're going to start with Phillis Wheatley, right? She was born in 1753 and died in 1784. She was an African-American poet and author. More specifically, she was African, okay? She was African. She was born in West Africa in the Senegal, Gambia area. Some authors, some scholars believe that she was Fulani. Yeah, she was Fulani. And at the age of 7, she was sold into slavery and took to Boston on a slave ship, get this, called Phyllis. So they didn't have a name for her, so they just named her after a boat. And over time, she did become a free woman, and her work, poems in various subjects, was published. But get this, did you know she had to defend her work, her authorship, the authorship of her work in open court? Yeah. For some reason they couldn't believe that an African woman can write so eloquently. But she was the first African American woman to have her works published in the Western world. Okay, there's a lot of people, Africans, both male and female, in the Eastern world, published a lot of things long before America got here. But she was the first African-American woman to have something published in the Western world. Bishop Richard Allen, born in 1760, he passed away in 1831. He was born into slavery, and get this, his name was Negro Richard, right? But when he got older, he did work his way and purchased his own freedom. And he renamed himself Richard Allen. And the thing is about that, a lot of people say, I don't want to have slave masters' names and so on. But there are some of our ancestors upon emancipation, be it they emancipated themselves or because of some declaration, they dropped a syllable or a letter out their name. So they renamed themselves. Sometimes if we do our research, we may find out that, William's son is now Williams because he didn't want to be nobody's son, that kind of thing. So, yeah, my love for history started with my love for family history. Okay. And so that's why I teach high school. That's the reason why I teach high school social studies. And, it starts with my story. Okay. So that's the reason why I love it. But dealing with Richard Allen, he was the founder of the African Methodist Episcopal Church in Philadelphia. But the reason why he started that was because, yes, he was under the auspices of the Methodist Church, but they kept putting him in a segregated situation where he had to preach to his crowd only, or to preach at crazy hours, like early in the morning and at random and things like that. So refusing to do that, he went ahead and him and Absalom Jones and many others put together the African Methodist Episcopal Church. But also get this. I found this out recently. Bishop Allen was an abolitionist to the point to where his house was a station for the Underground Railroad, right? It was a station, right? So he not only he wanted freedom for himself, which he got, he wanted freedom for other people physically and spiritually. And that's something that we have to do. If you are free from something, okay, be it physically, mentally, or emotionally, don't just say, I got mine, you got to get yours, right? Go back and reach out and help somebody. Now, we know everybody, on a different level and a different speed. We get that. We got that. But it's worth a try, right? So, yeah, my name is King Cam, Ujumbe Podcast, Ujumbe Meets Message. And today's message is Black History Month. But every week we're going to talk. So if you're subscribing to me on YouTube, check me out on YouTube, King Cam and Ujumbe on YouTube. Comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And my podcasts are almost everywhere, I think. So just check me out. I have some guest people that are coming through, talk about self-care. Some of them may want to put me in the hot seat too, so this will be interesting. But we're going to talk about self-care. We're going to talk about community concerns, but not just about the concerns, but what are some solutions to these problems? We know what the problem is. We know what the issue is. We have a long list of they've been doing this and they've been doing that. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do next, right? What can be done, okay, other than complain, right? So that's another reason why I teach. Okay, I could be doing a lot of things, other things, but I choose to teach because teaching our youth, our young people, is very important to get them to see the world not just as a problem, but as a solution. All right. But you guys have a good one, and I will see you next time. All right. Talk to you later.